Cool. You're good to start, Julie.
Okay. Call to order and announce a quorum is present. Public comments.
Sure.
Comments will
sorry,
be.
let me do the roll call real quick. Sorry about that. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. Chairperson Tryon. Absent. Vice Chair Leonard.
Here.
Commissioner Hammersmith.
Here.
Commissioner Chavis.
Here.
Commissioner Meyer.
Here.
And Commissioner Small. Absent. All right. Thanks, Julie.
Okay. Comments will be taken from the audience participating in Zoom meeting on non-agenda related topics for a length of time not to exceed 3 minutes per person. Comments on specific agenda items must be made when the item comes before the commission. To address the Planning and Zoning Commission, please register and submit the speaker card following the instructions for public speaking. No action may be taken by the Planning and Zoning Commission during public comments. Public hearing number 1.
Sure. Yeah, and we have no public comments for this meeting.
Okay, for all of the all 3 of the public hearings.
We have people sign up for the public hearings for the specific ones, but no general public comments.
Okay. So public hearing 1, conduct a public hearing upon a preliminary plat for Manor Heights subdivision phase 2, revision 265 lots on 105.63 acres more or less, being located near the intersection of US Highway 290 East and Old Kimber Road, Manor, Texas. Applicant Kimley Horn Associates, owner 4-Star Real Estate Group.
Sure. So this one, if you remember from the last meeting, we had phase 3. They moved their amenity center from phase 3 into phase 2. And so that resulted in a significant number of lots changing that they had to have the plat reapproved. I believe with this one, it's like 14 lots actually changed, but again, like the whole plat needs to be reapproved. That's why it says 265, but in actuality, it's something like 14 to 17 lots got modified to create their amenity center lot within phase 2 instead of phase 3. And the engineer for this project is here if you have specific questions for him. Oh, sorry, Julie, I think you went mute again.
Yeah, sorry. Is anyone signed up to speak on this one?
The engineer is here if you have questions for him. But if there aren't any questions, you can close the public hearing.
Are there any questions for the engineer?
Yeah, I'll put a motion forward to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Okay, Vice Chair Leonard,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammersmith,
Aye.
Commissioner Chavis,
Aye.
and Commissioner Meyer.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to agenda item number 2. Sorry, my pages, I can't, like having some issue uploading the pages. Hold on. It's weird. Okay. Conduct a public hearing upon a preliminary plat for the Manor Apartments subdivision, 1 lot on 10.74 acres more or less, and being located near the intersection of US Highway 290 East and Greg Manor Road. Applicant Carlson Brigance and Doring Incorporated, owner Manor Apartments LLC.
So this is the lot that is behind Riata Ford. They've been going through the platting process. They're pretty much to the very end of it. Excuse me. And, you know, they have a site plan for their development in review right now. And I believe they want to submit for building permits here shortly. But it's been zoned multifamily for a couple years now, and they're just moving forward the development on that property. They'll be either, you know, extending Greg Maynard to their property unless a different developer actually extends it the whole way to the line to Parsons, which is already an approved plan. When you're working with multiple developers, sometimes one gets ahead of the other, but this property, they do have the ability to build a portion of Greg Maynard to serve as their entrance for when they get to that development portion. But right now, this is just the plat for the 10 acres, 10.74 acres. Any other questions? Or?
If nobody has any questions, I'll put a motion again forward to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, Vice Chair Leonard,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammersmith,
Aye.
Commissioner Chavis,
Aye.
and Commissioner Meyer.
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay, moving on, agenda item number 3, conduct a public hearing upon a rezoning request for 43.92 acres, more or less out of the James Manor Survey number 40 abstract 546, being located in the 9900 block of Hill Lane, Manor, Texas, from single family to light industrial. Applicant Garza EMC, owner Butler Family Partnership Limited.
Okay. So this property, this zoning request, oh, my stream's okay, sorry. It's located towards the end of Hill Lane. And it's about 40 acres or so, 43 acres, but there's actually, this picture here shows about half of it is floodplain. And so, you know, that's not all that developable. And so the city is supporting the request for the light industrial. There's multifamily that's proposed across the street. And then everything to the west of it is Austin's ETJ, which is also proposed to be sort of industrial uses. I think Maynard Downs, they've talked about doing some light industrial there, and then all on Palmer's and proposed to be light industrial. So this works with what's being proposed over on the Austin side, and then directly to the east of this in Los Entradas is commercial development. But even that one's kind of proposed some light industrial potentially, but yeah, this particular property, Hill Lane also in the future is proposed to become a primary collector, which is a 64-foot right of way with about 42 feet of pavement, but still 2 lanes. So you end up with like 21-foot wide lanes, which would, you know, accommodate the development along that road. But the engineer and the developer are here if you'd like to speak with them too.
So do they have a plan to address the floodplain area? Are they gonna build like a drainage pond or?
I'm not sure if they're that far along, but I could
Okay.
bring them in. I mean, you could ask the engineer that question if you like.
Sure.
All right, just give me 1 second. How's it going, Rich and Jonathan?
Great.
Cool. So we're just discussing, we're on the public hearing for the the rezoning request. And Commissioner Hammersmith, he was asking about the floodplain and if how drainage was going to be handled on the property. If you knew that at this stage.
You want me to take a stab at that, Rich?
Yeah, go ahead, Jonathan.
Okay, so we're currently proposing to stay completely out of the floodplains. Just from the nature of not wanting to, do any disturbance within there that might affect the neighbors, right? So that's kind of the current plan, basically, is just to stay out of the floodplain areas. We will have to remap them based on the Atlas 14, updated information, which will probably put the floodplain and boundary closer to this lighter blue limits as opposed to the red. But like I said, that's we're currently proposing to stay with outside of all that.
Thanks.
What kind of development are we talking about using this property for?
The game plan, we have a national client that we build for cold storage uses. And we've built several of these facilities for them in other markets. And they had their sights on the Austin market. But in particular, we're not keen on the city of Austin itself. And so the front half, roughly half of the site would be utilized for the cold storage use. And then the back half of the site, we would develop either for another client or more likely a speculative industrial project.
And
Can you
the front and
elaborate
back.
more?
Sorry.
Can you elaborate more about what we're storing?
Yeah, it would be a grocery use.
Thank you.
You bet.
I'll go ahead and put a motion forward if there aren't any other questions to close the public hearing.
Second.
Vice Chair Leonard,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammersmith,
Aye.
Commissioner Chavis,
Aye.
and Commissioner Meyer.
Yes.
Rich and Jonathan, I'm going to put you back in the waiting room since this item will come back up, I think, on item 7 for a vote. But you'll hang out in the waiting room again. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Scott.
Okay, moving on to agenda item number 4. So consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve the planning and zoning minutes of April 14th, 2021 regular session.
Move to approve the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting minutes of April 14th, 2021, call special session.
I'll second.
Vice Chair Leonard,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammersmith,
Aye.
Commissioner Chavis,
Aye.
and Commissioner Meyer.
Yes.
Thanks.
Agenda item number 5, consideration, discussion, and possible action on a preliminary plat for Manor Heights subdivision phase 2 revision, 265 lots on 105.63 acres, more or less, being located near the intersection of US Highway 290 East and Old Kimber Road. Applicant Kimley Horn and Associates, owner 4-Star Real Estate Group Incorporated.
Sure. And so this was the one where they had just moved to their amenity center from phase 3 into phase 2, which required this revised plat to come back through y'all. And our engineers have approved this, so staff is recommending approval.
Do they know what's going to be in the amenity center?
They've submitted for it, I'm pretty sure. The engineer's here. I could bring him in if you'd like, and he may know if he's,
Just curious.
yeah. Let me see. Hey, Alex, how's it going?
Good, how are y'all?
Doing
Can you
well?
hear me?
Yes, yeah, you're good. So Vice Chair Leonard, she had asked, and I can't recall if your company, you probably were the ones that had done the amenity center, but do you know what exactly is going in the amenity center?
Yes, it'll be, I think they're putting a pool, some pavilions, some like pickleball courts and like a sports field. So just like a typical amenity center improvements for a subdivision. So yeah, all that stuff would be in there, in that lot. Okay.
Cool. And is that going to be a public pool or is that going to be just for the residents? of Manor
This will
Heights?
be just for the residents of Manor Heights within anyone within the HOA boundaries, which would be, anyone in Manor Heights.
Okay. And is that the Manor Heights is the one that is off Old Highway 20, right?
This one is off of, I guess it was Old Kimbrough Road and 290. It's kind of
Mhm.
northeast of that intersection, so not off Highway 20 exactly.
Oh, it's on the other side of the
Mhm.
highway.
Yeah, it's just
Mhm.
past Presidential Glen.
Okay. Don't they already have a pool in Presidential Glen too, or like Presidential Heights or something?
Presidential Glen has an amenity center for their
They do.
residents within their HOA, so.
I'll put a motion forward to approve agenda item number 5.
I'll second.
Vice Chair Leonard,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammersmith,
Aye.
Commissioner Chavis,
Aye.
and Commissioner Meyer.
Yes,
Thank you, and thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you.
All right, agenda item number 6, consideration, discussion, possible action on a preliminary plat for Manor Apartments subdivision, 1 lot on 10.74 acres, more or less, being located near the intersection of US Highway 290 East and Greg Manor Road. Applicant Carlson Berganson During, owner Manor Apartments LLC.
Sure, and this was that slightly over 10-acre tract behind Riata Ford, where some apartments are being proposed to be located. And our engineers have approved this plat, so staff is recommending approval.
How many apartments is it going to be?
I think it's 260, 265.
Yeah, 264 proposed units.
I was close. Memory's not failing me yet.
Are they going to widen that stretch of Old Highway 20? What is it called there? It's not called 20 anymore. Parsons.
No, not at this time. That
Impact
be an
analysis doesn't
intersection.
look,
sorry.
it's not required. The impact analysis, it's not required. It says.
Yeah, so I know as the larger commercial development, which is pretty much all around this, they may have done a TIA a long time ago, but at this point, They may not have. But there's a large Las Entradas, north and south, and the south one being all around this. That project's been out there for a while, which is why they may have done a TIA a long time ago, but they may be doing one since it is proposed to be, a substantial amount of commercial space built out over many years. But that may show certain intersection or roadway improvements, but this particular one doesn't have that.
Yeah, because the Parsons Road backs up, in the evenings.
Mhm.
Even now during COVID times when a lot of people are working from home, it still gets pretty backed up.
Yes, yeah, and
Adding
yeah, a lot of people,
250 more people on that road seems, I don't know if that's sustainable
yeah,
for that
I
road.
I don't know if
to
you want
support
to
that.
check with them, because the project manager, it says, plus 1,848 vehicle trips per day are expected and therefore should not require a TIA.
right, yeah, you have to be over 2,000 trips
Okay.
to have a TIA. And so, but this property or this project, like I said, it's already has the zoning in place.
Mhm.
And so the plat, you're sort of obligated to approve the plat since it meets our code requirements.
Mhm.
And all their site plan and all that, building permits, all administrative, so it will happen.
Yeah. So then people if it becomes a problem for people, then you guys recognize that, or people complain or something happens and then it gets put in the city budget to widen it, or how does that work? Because that's city road, right? Parsons.
In that little stretch it is. Parsons is a curious road because, when you turn off it from Palmer heading east, it's a county road until you get over the bridge. And then once you get over the bridge, this is about right where the Greg Manor extension will meet, right there at the Lions Club. That's a city road until you get the stoplight where, Manor Grocery is and Dewitt's. And then past that, it's a state road. That's where it picks up as 973/loop 212. And then it's a state road until you get to the stoplight over by Walmart, where 973 and loop 212 turn north. And then past that, heading to Bell Farms, Carriage Hills, it's back to being a county road.
Mhm.
So
A lot of interagency communication involved.
yeah,
with
so
getting that done.
traffic improvements on that road,
Never happened.
No, not just that, but it's, in order to work it out, the city and the county working together to improve from Parsons to Lexington. And the state, they're planning to reroute 973 at some point in the next, hopefully 10 years. It's a ways off, I know, but funding. So that will take a lot of traffic off, 973. And so I don't know how much traffic will be on the downtown streets in the future. But yeah, I know a lot of people seek Old Highway 20 as an alternate to 290.
Mhm.
But hopefully with Greg Manor being extended and, Hill Lane connecting the north part of Greg Manor to Lexington, sort of these inner city street connections will help move traffic around a little easier.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard because there is room to grow it to a 2-lane road each way, and the overpass and from Palmer, there is room that you could make it into a 2-lane road. It is a 2-lane road for a short time, but then when you kind of have to go back down to 1 to get through downtown. So even if you were to alleviate it a little bit, then you're still stuck having back to a bottleneck in the downtown
Sure.
area.
And there are traffic improvements planned. And the plans are being reviewed right now. They're almost ready actually to be approved to redo the intersection of Lexington and Parsons, to add more turn lanes. And so that may help traffic get through that intersection faster, which maybe help traffic move on the roadway a little easier.
That would be good.
But yeah, so there'll be a little more, dedicated right turn lanes. So like one person who's going straight doesn't block five people who are trying to turn right kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah, so those plans have gone through a couple rounds of comments, and that's getting funded by the Lagos TIA.
Mhm.
So different project funded traffic improvements at that intersection.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I'm good if someone wants to make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the item. Or close the public hearing, I'm sorry.
This would be the approval for it.
Yeah.
You're right.
Second.
Vice Chair Leonard,
Yes,
Commissioner Hammersmith,
Aye.
Commissioner Chavis,
Aye.
and Commissioner Meyer.
Yes,
Great, thanks.
all right. Agenda item number 7, consideration, discussion, and possible action on a rezoning request for 43.92 acres, more or less, out of the James Manor Survey, number 40, abstract 546, being located on 9900 block of Hill Lane, Manor, Texas, from single family to light industrial. Applicant Garza EMC, owner Butler Family Partnership.
Sure. So this was that 43 acre tract at the end of Hill Lane there. But as discussed before, like big chunk of it is floodplain. So I think only about 28 and a half acres is developable. That's the engineer said they weren't planning to do anything within the floodplain. And so staff is recommending approval for this one.
Any questions on this one?
I'll put a motion forward to approve agenda item number 7.
Second.
Vice Chair Leonard,
Yes,
Commissioner Hammersmith,
Aye.
Commissioner Chavis,
Aye.
and Commissioner Meyer.
yes,
Thank you.
agenda item number 8, consideration, discussion, and possible action on a final plat for Village at Manor Commons Phase 4, 73 lots on 14.934 acres, more or less, being located near the intersection of Ring Road and Skimmer Run, Manor, Texas. Applicant ALM Engineering Incorporated, owner Greenview Development, Greenbury.
So this one, I mean, if you want, you can actually combine it with the next one. They're both really related, but I'm not sure if you want to do that or
Yeah,
feel comfortable doing that. Okay.
do I read the other one too?
Yeah, you could read
Okay.
the next agenda item.
Okay, agenda item number 9, consideration, discussion, and possible action on a final plat for the Village at Manor Commons Phase 5, 76 lots on 15.394 acres, more or less, being located near the intersection of Ring Road and Skimmer Run, Manor, Texas. Applicant ALM Engineering Incorporated, owner Greenview Development, Greenbury, LP.
Sure. So these are just phases 4 and 5, the final plats for the Village at Manor Commons. They've been approved by engineers, so staff is recommending approval. You can see here for phase 4, it includes the remainder of Ring Road. So if you would like to see that and not have to get on Old 20 as often to get over to Walmart, once this construction finalizes, that road will be open and there'll be a connection not only to Walmart but Timmerman Park without having to go on Old 20. Together, it's about I think like 150 lots, residential lots, or thereabouts, 145. But again, both these plots have been approved by engineers, so we're recommending approval for them.
And of course, we've put a amenity center into the contract, so they have to build a pool and an amenity center. Correct.
the Village of Manor Commons does not have an amenity center. It is adjacent to Timmerman Park, which is, the city's largest park right now. So that's a nice amenity. It's not a pool, but it's nice.
It's
green
a park with a little, like, I'm sorry, I don't want to, yeah.
There's future plans to add more. I mean,
Okay, good,
there's a
because
whole-
there's literally
whole-
one thing to play on. It's
there's a whole
like,
park master plan for, there could be a skate park back there, disc golf,
yeah,
dog park, a little dog park, more trails, bathroom.
that would be great.
There's a park master plan for Timmerman Park.
Cool.
I'll put a motion forward to approve agenda items number 8 and 9.
I'll second.
All right, Vice Chair Leonard,
Yes, but I wish there was a pool.
okay. Commissioner Hammersmith,
Aye.
Commissioner Chavis,
Aye.
and Commissioner Meyer.
Yes,
Thank you.
Okay, agenda item number 10, consideration, discussion, and possible action on a final plat for Manor Heights subdivision Phase 2, Section 2, 94 lots on 27,305 acres, more or less being located near US Highway 290 and Old Kemper Road, Manor, Texas. Applicant Kemley Horn and Associates, owner 4-Star Real Estate Group Incorporated.
So this plat, you just actually approve the revised preliminary, so the final plat is able to be approved. This is obviously the subset of it. There's section 1 and section 2, and this is section 2 of phase 2. So you can see the amenity centers there. And this has been approved by engineers, so staff is recommending approval.
What's the difference between this one and the amenity center, like
Sure.
the one
So
that we
the
just? approved?
preliminary plat was for all of phase 2. And preliminary plats, they cover things like the drainage, in some degree, the water, wastewater layouts, if they have tree mitigations, traffic impact analysis, all that gets handled in the preliminary. Final plat just establishes basically the legal boundary for the lots. And so when you're a homeowner, you're buying, lot 23, block H, so this final plats are really pretty simple. It is just creating the boundaries for the lots that the home builder purchases from the developer, which then they sell to the home buyer. But they do them in
Got it.
sections. So preliminary plats will be larger areas, but when they get to final platting, they do smaller sections because helps mitigate their risk. So they only do, like the last ones we saw, they were 76 lots each about, and this one somewhere in that same neighborhood, it's 91 lots. So they'll plat them, do final plats in smaller sections at a time to make sure that they don't get ahead of demand, kind of.
Got it. Okay. Anyone have any questions on this? Is there a motion?
I'll make an emotion that we approve agenda item number 10.
Second.
Vice Chair Leonard,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammersmith,
Aye.
Commissioner Chavis,
Aye.
and Commissioner Meyer.
Yes,
Thank you.
All right. So it's that time again for adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move
Put
to
a
adjourn.
motion. Go ahead. A second.
Vice Chair Leonard,
Yes.
Commissioner Hammersmith,
Aye.
Commissioner Chavis,
Aye.
and Commissioner Meyer.
Yes.
All right, great. Thank you all very much and
Thanks.
have a good evening.
Thanks.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
Look forward to Philip coming back so I don't have to read that. Okay.
Soon, soon.